Testing, 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 test, 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 testing, testing, test, test, testing, 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 test, 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 testing, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 698 of The Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, broadcast, beardcast, gaincast, mancast, nipplecast, and bicepcast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Welcome everyone joining me live here on the Daily Sleazy episode 698. Thank you so much for joining me live on Facebook and YouTube, and also live on Instagram and of course Twitch. Thank you so much for joining me wherever you are. Make sure you drop some comments, float some heart. If you're not following or subscribed, make sure you do that right now. Float some thumbs up and some biceps. Drop a couple comments and say hi or hello, no matter what you want to do, or hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien, y tú? Gracias. Say whatever language you want, but say something and float some buys. Float some buys, float some hearts, and share. Hola, what's going on, fam? And thank you also for listening on SoundCloud and iTunes for the podcast. So if you cannot catch the daily, you can't catch it live, not a problem. You have to earn the live cast. You have to earn the live cast. You have to turn on your notifications, and you have to be ready to go when Papa Swolio is ready to go. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to fucking pounce. Ready to pounce. What's going on, fam? Brianna, Matt, Alfonso, Bella. What up, Dobie? Over on Facebook. I like the pictures you're posting, bro. You're posting some of the ones from the shoot. I like it. You got to get me those yoga ones, those forest pics. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So what's good? What good? What's up, Daisy? Rose Bros. What up? What's up, Hose? What's up, everyone? If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you say what's up. We're going to get lit over here. Make sure that's going. Chat's up. Everything's good to go there. Sweet. Awesome. All right. So let's get into it today, fam. Today for me is an off day. I'm doing a lot of content for Swolenormous X. I'm putting out a lot of great stuff. So a lot of good things coming for those of you that are in the private community, and also, okay, of course, public community. Going to be doing a lot of content, working on some stuff behind the scenes, clean the office a little bit, and revamping some stuff with my content, my release schedule, and some things for the future. So some big updates and some big things I'm working on behind the scenes. Those of you that have been following me, we know the kind of stuff that I've been putting out, and maybe some of the focus of some of these episodes have revolved around just fucking doing it. If you're following me on Instagram, especially Facebook too, but on Instagram, you know, the posts have been revolving a lot around psychology. And that's really what the kicker is. That's really what is the big difference between people that see results and that don't see results, or those that just fucking do it, right? Nike had it right. Nike had it right. They still do. You just fucking do it. You just do it. There's not a lot of discussion. So I've been having some questions coming in, and some personal stuff, you know, not naming names, of course. I could read something here. I'm not going to read it like word for word, but pretty much it was covering something along the lines of, you know, depression, eating disorders. I get a lot of these messages, as you can imagine. I get a lot of these messages about people having, you know, personal issues getting started. And one thing just comes to mind. One thing comes to mind. And one thing is like really the reason why we're all here, and the reason why you all take this harsh truth or the harsh truths to heart, and why you all receive my content so well, is because of the simple approach that it's not that these things don't exist, right? It's not that depression, it's not that anxiety and these types of feelings don't exist. Whether you want to call them clinical, whether you want to call them diseases, whether you want to call them afflictions, that's just semantics, and that's just social commentary. That it doesn't fucking mean anything. Honestly, you know, when you talk about some of the, you know, the words we put to things, right? Like, for example, I've been really into a lot of history lately. And those of you that might have had grandparents that fought in wars, or parents, or yourself, you know that the term for PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, was shell shock originally. It gets completely whittled down. And I believe it was George Carlin that famously said, things are getting like, whittled down. He was brilliant, genius with words and what people do to soften the blow. And a lot of you found me through my Youre Fat video, that viral video that's still going. I think it has 5 million views on one of them. The other one has like 200,000. So because I posted it twice, they're really, doing well. But because I say you have to take ownership, right? You're fat. You are not horizontally challenged. You're not overweight. Like, you're fat. You're straight up fat. And it's not an insult. Some people took it as an insult, but we've discussed this before. If you take something like that as an insult, it says more about you than it does about me. I'm not saying it in an asshole way. I'm saying it straight up, and I'm saying it to your face more or less because obviously we're through a screen, but I'm saying it like it is, right? Fitness without the bullshit. That's what we do here. I'm just telling the truth. By all accounts, if you're fat, then you're fat. You're not horizontally challenged. You're not overweight. You're just fat. And that doesn't have a connotation with it. That's not, oh, you're fat. That means you're a terrible person. I hate you. Everyone hates you. You don't have any friends. You're a failure. That's not at all what that fucking means. It's not at all what the word fat means. Like, think about the connotations, right? How about this right now? I know I just kind of ruined the experiment, but what is your connotation when it comes to fat? All right. So I did this in an Instagram post, I think like a week or so ago, actually. I said, write the first thing that comes to mind. I put fat in the Instagram picture. And of course, a lot of you jackasses are like, ass, fat ass. What do you think of when it comes to fat? Or how about this? Is the word fat a positive or negative connotation? Let's do that. Just say positive or negative. When you hear the word fat, is that positive? I'm not talking about nutrition, whatever. Actually, whatever. When you hear the word fat, is that positive or negative? Or would you say that it's more positive or negative generally? Do people use it more positively or negatively? Do you view that as a positive or negative connotation? Like, how do you view the word fat? Negative. Valeri Federico on Facebook. Negative. Bam for life. Positive for bacon. Word up. Positive for bacon. Dog on YouTube. Negative. Okay, so a lot of you are saying negative. I'm sure a lot more comments. Christian, negative. Darlin, neg. Brianna, negative. Signe, negative. All right. So I think we could all agree, at least generally society would say it's negative. The majority of society would say it's negative. I think that's fair, right? That says the word fat is negative. But is the word fat really negative? Think about this. Is the word fat really negative? Is it negative? Is it really a negative word? Or do we associate it with negativity? It's like any word. It's like any word, any sound. It's the association, right? The N word, the famous N word. It's not the letters and the vowels. It's what it represents. And now that word is being used differently, right? In rap and those types. I mean, I'm not going down this track like too far, but that it's used in rap and music, it's being used more commonly and like colloquially and, in different communities. So now the meaning is kind of changed. So now it's kind of like, well, now it depends on who says it, right? It's the association of that word. Does it mean friend and bro? It's kind of like the word fuck, right? You say fuck, it's like, oh, fucking hell, or fuck, or yo, what up, you crazy fuck? Like, you can use that swear as a friendly term. You could use the N word as a friendly term. So it's what it means. It's what you intend it to mean. And of course, for example, coming from a white person, that's where the white, it's not coming generally from a positive place, or it's not seen as that way. But when it's coming from it can mean something friendly. So it's the association of the words. So the word fat, it's how you say it. It's how you say the word fat. It's like, oh man, you're stupid. Or man, oh dude, that's so stupid. Oh dude. Yeah. Like, or the word right, or the word retarded, right? Or retarded person is different than like, oh bro, that was retarded. Like, that was messed up. I mean, I'm not saying these words are positive or negative, but it's the association. You're really going there, tread carefully. I'm not going there. I didn't say anything bad, right? The fucking fuckers fucked. It's context, and it's the meaning of the word. It really is. It really is. The word doesn't mean anything. It's the association. Intent changes many words. Absolutely. Okay. So that's one of the challenges with the English language is most people don't from other countries. It's very hard to learn all the ways that you can use English language. And I know this firsthand because living in South Florida, you have a lot of people coming from South America, from Europe. And it's very hard to get the sarcasm. It's very hard to get the way you can say one word 30 different ways and it could mean 30 different things. And that's very challenging. That's very challenging for someone that's not a native speaker to understand all the humor. That's why you might say something that's a nice thing or not bad, and someone that doesn't speak English primarily as their first language might take it as an insult or might not get the joke. So you have to be cognizant of that with any language. You don't get the slang, right? You don't get like the way like, the sentence goes up at the end, right? It's a question or it's a you take it literally. You take things literally like a joke. Like if you want to see something funny, just read like a comedian's bit or their joke, read it on paper rather than having them say it. And then you realize the difference. And the vast majority of human communication is with body language, not with what you say. It's how you say it. It's the position of your body. If you're like this, or, you know, so there's a lot of different subtleties. So we generally, the word fat, we generally think of as negative. Okay. Now, because we think of it as negative, it loses its strength. As George Carlin said, it loses its strength. It loses its power. It loses its balls, so to speak. So when you're too politically correct and you soften things too much, it loses its energy. It loses its meaning. It loses its punch. And I think it's very important for people to take ownership. Like we don't take responsibility for anything in our fucking lives. If you are fat, you have to take responsibility. That's what that video is all about. So people in the comments, which is always funny to read, people in the comments that are hating on it, that took it personally, that are not there mentally, that are defensive, that are blaming other people, that are blaming the world, that are they're making excuses. They get pissed off at me and they'll be like, oh, this fucking piece of shit walking down the street with a gay man bun. Look at that beard, that poser beard, and that pink shirt. And they'll just try to make up something about me and try to come at me. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not insulting them. I'm trying to empower them. I'm trying to empower you. I'm trying to give you the tools that you need psychologically to open, to really turn on your brain and realize that you are in control. You are in control. So if you take responsibility for the problem, if you take responsibility for the issue, for being fat, all those years that it took for you to get fat, you didn't get fat overnight, you fucking psychopath. You didn't get oh, I'm fat. Everyone feels sorry for me. What am I going to do? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so challenging to lose weight. It's so challenging to be fat. You didn't wake up fat. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You didn't just wake up and all of a sudden, oh man, I'm 300 pounds. Like the movie fucking Big with Tom Hanks, where he wakes up and he's a child. The fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. It took you 30 years of doing shit to your body and damage. If you have a severe medical condition, okay, that could be a factor. I'm not talking to you then. You just shift over into, oh, he's not directly talking to you, but don't make a fucking excuse. Don't make an excuse. You're fat because you've been doing fat things. Fat things meaning you haven't been exercising, you haven't been eating right. Oh, but I don't eat too many bad foods. Well, obviously your body disagrees. Obviously your body disagrees. Cody, this is applicable to so much more than your weight. Absolutely. That's why I always say fitness is life, because the lessons you can learn in fitness and the lessons you learn in life applies to fitness because they're one and the same. It's the discipline, the dedication. It's the approach to your training. It's the approach to your nutrition. It's the long-term vision, not the short-term results. That's why this episode is called How to Lose Weight Fast. I'm going to tell you how to lose weight fast. And I'm not going to give you one of those bullshit things like, well, you can't lose weight fast, because in reality, you can't. There's no quick fix. So what do I mean by how to lose weight fast? I'm going to tell you, and there is a way. So I'm going to tell you exactly what that is, but I have to give you some context. So the words that we use, the excuses that we make, all these little things in between, these are the issues. These are the foundational issues. That's why you're having trouble getting results. That's why you're having trouble making change. That's why you're having these problems, everyone. That's why you're having issues. That's literally why you're having issues, because the foundation of how you think in the society, you were trained to think this way. Float some hearts and some biceps if you went to school. Now, I'm not talking about whether you went to college. Tell me right now in the comments, which is going to be pretty much everyone I know, but this is just to make a point. Float some hearts or say me. And if you completed high school, how about that? If you completed high school, now this is not to judge you. I'm not saying if you're smart or if you're valuable in this society or not. This is literally, did you finish high school? I don't even care if you finished high school. Like, did you go through like a couple years of high school? You could have dropped out, but you went into high school, right? You made it that far into high school. I don't care about college. I don't care about college. It's too late at that point. How, did you go through high school? Did you finish elementary or middle school? Me. All right. So most of you, I know the comments are not absolutely real time. So it's coming through thumbs up, hearts. I'm just seeing emojis. All right. Most people, right? I mean, what percentage would you say nowadays, right? At least 80% probably finished high school. Those of you that are here right now, 80%, even if it's 70%, 90%, 95, whatever. People usually at least go into high school. And if you drop out, you don't drop out of middle school. People don't really do that anymore. I don't know if they ever really did that, but most of you, at least, like if you dropped out, it was like high school sometime. So, where was I? Okay. So most of you have gone into high school at least. Now, by that time, you're already programmed. Okay. One of the reasons why school and education actually came about to begin with was to train factory workers, like, right? It's like education, like your mass training, you're training for farming, you're training for life. School was educating for how the world works. And if you need workers, you train workers. So really you're being put into the system. When they say it as a system, it really is a system. And if you don't go to school, you don't go to college, you don't go get a job after you start your own thing, you're kind of breaking away from the system. It's a very interesting juxtaposition. We have the ability to have freedom and to have, or, as we perceive freedom or however you want to define it, but the ability to do your own thing, start your own business, do X, Y, and Z. However, all the training goes into being a part of the system, which is the opposite of what we say. So there's this really weird, like double-edged sword standard, whatever you want to think of it. It's really interesting. Now, that being said, you are trained and taught a certain way, like you're programmed to want certain things. You're programmed to value certain things. You're programmed to value money or cars or possessions, this, that, and the other. Now, in order to lose weight fast, right, we have to leave that perception that fat is negative, whether it's in food or whether it's your body. You have to understand that it's a definition, or it means something. It has a meaning, but it doesn't have necessarily the meaning of like positivity or negativity. Fat, we can agree, fat is a type of molecule. The way we say fat is meaning someone has, like, fat is not bad. Even fat as what it is, let's say a fat cell or an ounce of fat or a gram of fat. Fat in itself is not good or bad. This is a little philosophical, I understand, but this is really getting to more of like the root of the issue, like really the root. This is where it has to change because you're programmed. So fat, like this, okay, here, look, everyone, here, look, here's fat. It's really not good or bad. Even the word good and bad is just subjective opinion. Like we're just giving things fucking labels. So that little bit of fat right here is not good or bad. However, when I call someone fat, the assumption is they have extra of it. Even though if I say you're fat, technically, if this is fat right here, if I'm holding fat, if I say you're fat, that means you are just a piece of fat, like you're fat, which doesn't make sense. Your muscle, your brain, your all these different things. So if I say you're too fat or you have too much fat on your body, then that's really the insult, right? If I say you have, like if I did a video and says you have too much fat on your body, that wouldn't have gone over that well. I don't think that would have been positively viral. Wouldn't you say? If I said you have too much fat on your body, that's more of like a body image. It's more of a judgment. That's more about singling people out. That's a little more negative. That's like really saying that's me judging you based on my idea of what's right and wrong. That's me saying you have too much fat. You're bad. You shouldn't have that because that's bad. If I say you're fat, it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing because you're obviously not fat in the base definition. How it is intended is more of a mental approach, right? Like you're acting fat. Your lifestyle is fat. And fat meaning excess, fat meaning too much in that sense. And we're taught how to think. We're taught to label things in high school. That's where that conversation and that aspect was coming from, that angle. You are programmed to think about words a certain way. You're programmed to give things labels. You're programmed to have good scores on a test or bad scores. Think about how fucked up that is, right? Think about, I mean, I understand a math class when you have certain rules, 2 plus 2 equals 4, because that's just the way it is. That's the way the system works with math. You can't have 2 plus 2 equals 7 because that's just not how it works, right? That's why that's why a lot of people like math, because there's no debate. 2 plus 2 equals 4, and that's it. You're not using imaginary numbers. You're not using all those different integers. You're not doing it's like, you had 1 and 1. That means you have 2 now. It's simple. 6 minus 2 is 4. It's like, it just is. Accept it, or like, it's just fact. The way those rules are set up. When you have meaning, right? Like, how fucked up, brutally fucked up is it to grade an English paper or a philosophy class? Like when you write a paper in philosophy or something, or in English or any kind of thing, who's to say what's right and wrong? It's judgment, it's opinion. It's like, oh, you structured this improperly. There are famous authors that changed that entire concept by not capitalizing letters, by not using punctuation. That's an art form. So when you have you start judging things as right or wrong when they're actually subjective, then you have problems. So to say someone is too fat, that's subjective. There's no meaning behind it. There's no you're too fat. That's just opinion. That's opinion. That's subjective. You can't say someone is too fat. Okay. When you understand that you are living a life that you have one of, that you're putting yourself in a situation mentally where you're playing the victim, where you're playing the excuse card and the victim mentality, that's a very dangerous place to be to get results. And what I meant by the message I was getting earlier and all the time about depression, about eating disorders, and having gastric bypass and all this shit, whether you, and it comes back full circle. I brought it back. The words that we use, right? Disorder, affliction, disease, when they're not physical, like when they're mental, I know there's chemical imbalances and I know there's things that I don't know, but when you start looking at that, and if someone does have depression, or someone does get, low mood, or someone really does feel bad about themselves, or someone had a real struggle or an eating disorder, here's the fucking thing about that. And I'm not judging anyone that has this. This isn't completely independent of a judgment. And yeah, I know these are sensitive issues, but I don't give a fuck. I'll say what I want. It doesn't matter, because it still comes down to doing it or not doing it. That's the fucking thing. That's the thing. It doesn't matter if you have depression. It doesn't matter if you have an eating disorder or anxiety. It's like, okay, like I sympathize. I don't want you to have that. There's not necessarily something that I can do, especially online or with, any kind of maybe you need medication, maybe you need shock therapy, or I don't know what they do. I don't know what would be the answer for that. Or is there one? Is depression really an opinion? Is it clinical? What does clinical mean? How do we define it? We just assign words to things, to categorize things, because nothing in this world makes sense. So we have to try to organize things so we can make sense of an existence. We create these rules and these shapes and these boxes and these different enclosures socially, with language, with everything, because we're scared out of our fucking minds. Because we're on a blue rock in the middle of fucking nowhere. No one knows what's going on. Like, I think we all forget that we have no fucking idea why we're here or what here is, what's going on with the universe. Like, we literally don't know anything about what we're doing. So we try to create order and rules, and this is how things work. This is the world. No one in the world has any fucking idea what the world is. No one does. The universe is X amount of years old. You don't fucking know that for sure. It's a guess from what light waves that you got from some fucking telescope we sent out into the sky or some shit. We haven't even gone to fucking Mars. Like, we sent a little fucking robot. We sent a little piece of metal there. Oh, I took a picture. Was it real? Was it fake? Who fucking cares? It took us all this time to get, like, we don't know shit. We know absolute shit. We know nothing. Fucking nothing. All right. So that being said, we don't know. We don't know that. So we create this order. We create these rules. We create these limitations in our own brain. So when we call ourselves, like, let's say I have depression or I suffer, right? What's the phrase? I suffer from depression. It's not that I have depression or I get low mood sometimes or I have chronic low mood. Like, you can soften that word, but it's I suffer. I suffer from depression. So not only is depression a word meaning like a low point, but you suffer. That means like you're in agony. It's like we use, and then we compound these words by saying, I don't have depression. I suffer from depression. It's like almost, and the next one was, it could say like, I'm being murdered slowly by depression. Or you have anxiety. I suffer from anxiety disorder. It's like, shit, how many negative words can you put in a row? Like, can you extend that chain a little bit longer? Like, can we do 4? Who's got 4? Who's got 4? Anyone? No, not yet. Not yet. So it doesn't mean you don't have problems. It doesn't mean you don't have struggles. But here's the interesting thing that no one wants to talk about because it's such a sensitive issue. What the fuck does that mean, pussy? Why is it sensitive? Why is it sensitive? Talk about shit. It exists. People really have issues and challenges that other people don't, or perceived challenges, or physical limitations, or mental limitations, or financial limitations. Welcome to life. Everyone's got different cards and everyone's playing different hands and everyone's making different decisions every fucking day, all the time, that affect the course of their life, which is a blip in time. It's like, there's a lot of chaos and random shit. Like, you make decisions every day that affect the rest of your life. You don't know how. How many of you had like one incident or one decision? Like, think back to one decision that you might have thought was small at the time that changed like your entire outcome of your entire life, right? One small decision or one simple decision, all of a sudden that changed everything in your life. Okay. You didn't know at the time. So maybe right now you're making a decision. Maybe right now you pulled over on the side of the road to watch the show. And then you get back on the road. Maybe because you pulled over to watch the show, you missed a deadly accident up ahead and you would have been killed because you decided to pull over and not just play it while you're driving and then listen to it. Maybe just the time you were off the road was just coincidentally, or fate, whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying the Daily Swole saves lives, but okay, that was a decision you didn't even know you made. Like, how many of you have thought that? Like, you're driving down the road and you see a major accident that's like fresh, right? And the cops are just there or just happened and no one's there yet. And you're thinking, shit, this like literally happened where I am right now, just a little bit before. What if that was me? What if I left a little bit earlier? So there's a lot of different like chaos things that can happen. So it's all about like, no matter what your decisions are, I want you really to commit this to heart and to memory, that no matter what you're afflicted with or you suffer from, bottom line, it's hard to say that it matters. It's hard to say that it matters. It doesn't mean that it's easier. It doesn't mean that it's not more challenging, but either you eat better and you do the right things that you need to do nutrition wise. Either you train harder or train better and work hard at the things that you need to work physical wise, psychology wise, like everyone. But if you don't do it, it's like, who are you making this excuse to? Like, who are you making the excuse to? Like, who are you selling? Are you selling me? Like, you're telling me like, oh, you suffer from this or you have this. I'm over here. Like, it's not that I don't care, but what am I going to say? It's like, okay, like, There's no other like special workout that I can give you that's for depressed people or people that have anxiety. Like, here's a special workout that you can do that's not like the regular lifting or nutrition. It's a special workout that's just for you because you suffer from that. It's the same fucking shit. It's the same work. That's why I always say, like, if you're tired, okay, like the post I did yesterday on Instagram that's blowing up, right? The one that's like, you're tired, okay, go to, you have to work out in the morning, okay, then wake up earlier, set the alarm. If you're need to, you don't like the bland food, then fucking suck it up and eat it. You don't feel like training, okay, go train anyway. Like, it doesn't matter what you want or do. It's like, you have to do these things here. You got to do the things in this bucket. So either you do those things or you don't. It doesn't matter if you don't, it doesn't matter if you're depressed. It doesn't matter if you have one leg. It doesn't matter if you have one arm. There is a gentleman at my gym that's there fucking more often than I am. He has one fucking arm. He has one arm and he has like a nub. And this guy is doing pull down fucking excuse. I see people on Instagram all the time that have one leg, no legs, and they're lifting. So what's your fucking excuse? If you have your arms and legs, you have it 1,000 times better than they do. Or do you? Because they're not putting themselves in a box, you are. It still has to be done. It still has to be done. That's the thing. It still has to be done. It doesn't matter. But that's literally what I'm saying, is that it doesn't matter if you have one of these diseases, an affliction, or whatnot. Either you do what you need to do to get those results or you don't. You can blame it on that. All right. You blame it on depression. Fine. That doesn't change anything. It makes you a victim and it makes you a shittier person. It makes you a more hollow person. And honestly, it's like, it's not attractive. It's not attractive psychologically. It's just not a good trait to play the victim. Anyone that's successful or has gotten results is not playing the victim. Like, you do what you fucking have to do and you get it done. If you have to wake up earlier, then you can cry about it and not do it like, oh, well, I have to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, I don't know what time to work out. I work 7 to whatever. It's like, then get up at 5. Oh, but then if I get up at 5, I'll get to the gym by 6 and I don't have time to, then get up at 4. I, is it glamorous? Is it fun? Is it a good option? Is it the best option possible? Maybe it's the best option in your situation, but is it like ideal? No, it's not supposed to be ideal. Like, what do you think you're dealing with here? It's not going to be ideal. Getting up super early might not be ideal for your life, but if you want to go to the gym and that's when you have to do it, then you have to do it, and what, or don't do it. But if you don't do it, don't complain that you don't have anything from it. If you're going to blame not working out or not getting results on an eating disorder or depression or physical limitations, it's like, then you could blame it on there. Sure. And I'm not even saying that those aren't better excuses than, oh, I'm just tired or it's so hard. I mean, those could be real things. That's all opinion and subjectivity in some cases. But when you see people that get results and that have these things and have these changes and have these positive outcomes that have it worse than you, it's like, how can you possibly make that excuse? How is that even a valid excuse? If one human can do something, another one can do that. And that's a famous quote. I don't know if it came from somewhere else, but it was from Anthony Hopkins. Remember the movie The Edge with Alec Baldwin? I have that quote on my wall. What one man can do, another can do. So float some hearts if you like that movie. What one man can do, another can do. And man meaning man, woman, trans, whatever the fuck. I'm neutral. Just substitute your gender of choice in there, right? Gotta be careful nowadays. Gotta be PC. Gotta cover all the bases. What one man can do, another can do. What one man can do, another can do. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Doesn't mean you will do it, but you could. It's possible. Could you start a fitness brand? Could you start a fitness brand and start a daily podcast and do it? Of course you can. You have a cell phone. You're watching on a cell phone. You could be broadcasting right now if you want to. I encourage you to. You could start your own show right now. Right now, just start going live every day and just start talking about stuff. Now, the difference is maybe people will listen, maybe people won't. Maybe you'll have success, maybe you won't. So it doesn't mean you will do it, but you could theoretically. I'm not the only person that does a podcast. I'm not sure how many people do a live podcast every day. I mean, CNN, I mean, shit, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sure other people do a daily live thing of sorts. Of course, why not? Why not? I'm sure someone's doing it. Okay? But who's going to do it better? Obviously Papa Swolio. But I mean, right, but you have to be good enough too. You have to have the quality but everyone has the possibility to do what another person can do. So it comes down to your fucking brain. So the title of this episode is How to Lose Weight Fast Guaranteed. And it's a little bit of clickbait. It's a little bit of clickbait there because there is no shortcut. So what do I mean by it? All right. So what do I mean by how to lose weight fast? Well, adjust your goals. How to get results fast. I'll tell you how to get results fucking today. If you want results today, then make your goal where you're at today. Boom. You accomplished it. You want to get to your goal? Your goal is where you're at right now. Congratulations, everyone. You got your results. You did it. Congratulations. Float some fucking hearts. You like that one? Today is your goal. Your goal is to have what you have today. You are successful. And in reality, that's exactly what having goals is. That's the better approach. That's why my approach, in my opinion, of course, is better than all these quick fixes, is better than all these, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. I had someone else, and I posted this on my Instagram story. Of course, I didn't give names or anything like that, but I got a message saying, how do I lose 20 pounds by next month? It's my birthday. I was like, what the fuck does your birthday have to do with losing? He gave me or her, I forget, gave me a date, something 14th or 15th. I'm like, what is that date? And they said it's their birthday. I'm like, why does that fucking matter? You want to lose 20 pounds by next month because it's your birthday? Like, what makes you fucking special? The sun rises and sets on your birthday as it does today. Like, why is that date? And oh, now your number went up 1. So you have to fucking lose weight by then. That's the fucking system. That's the bullshit making you think that you're fucking special because the sun rose today and you were born by some kind of fucking like numerical standard from a lot of sunrises ago, right? Like, birthdays are the weirdest fucking thing. I have a birthday. It's like, I don't even tell anyone. I'm like, yeah, happy birthday. I'm like, thanks. I don't like doing anything. I think it's fucking weird. I think it's a sick fucking egotistical celebration. Everyone like does these huge things. Oh, it's my birthday. I'm like, I don't even like saying happy. I don't even like saying happy. It's like, great. You were born. Congratulations. 7 billion other people. Like, you're not special. Like, why is there a celebration? Like, woo, it's my birthday. Who the fuck are you? Fuck you and your birthday. Fuck you and your birthday. Like, literally, fuck birth. It's stupid. It's a stupid excuse to fucking eat garbage. It's a stupid excuse to feel entitled and special. Oh, today's my special day. Congratulations on your special day. Well, you're not special, so you fucking liar, hypocrite, egotistical fuck. That's what I think about birthdays. So happy birthday, everyone. So in that statement or in that question, right? In that question, with I want to lose 20 pounds, like, why does that make a difference? You need to lose 20 pounds. Like, you need to lose 20 pounds, like the language, right? The language that we talked about earlier that we're programmed. You need to lose 20 pounds in a month. No, you don't. You gotta get your fucking head screwed on right and start losing weight and being healthier for the rest of your life. Like, the goal is not your shitty deadline, fam. The goal is not 3 months. That's not your goal. That's a stupid fucking goal. That's why it's not goals. It's about vision. It's about your vision. It's not about a goal, a number. Who fucking cares if you lose 10 pounds? First off, no one gives a fuck but you. No one cares how much you lose or gain. No one gives a shit except you. So, yeah, who are you trying to prove? Who are you trying to compare yourself to? Just for FYI, there's always going to be someone that's considered better looking than you because that's subjective. There's always going to be someone that's leaner than you, that's more muscular than you, that's taller than you, that's going to have more money than you, that's going to have a better beard than you. Had to throw that in there. That's going to have something that you perceive or the public perceives in general to be better than what you have or you are. There's always going to be someone that, someone out there would be like, well, so and so is better looking than you. Okay, someone else might say something different, but you're like, who are you comparing to? You're comparing to this fucking ideal and this concept that's been drilled into your head and been programmed. So my point with how to lose weight fast guaranteed is that if you make the journey the success, if you make figuring things out and learning your body and loving yourself, those good things happen. You start to lose weight. You start to build muscle. You start to release the reins a little bit and start lightening the fuck up. That's why I don't like counting calories. I think it's bullshit. That's why I don't like measuring macros too much. It's bullshit. Like certain concepts are true, but we don't have enough research. There's no facts about it. There's no, this is the right way. No. Veganism is the right way. No. Eating meat only is the right way. No. Doing paleo is the right way. No. Vegetarianism is the right way. No. None of those are the right way. And anyone that says that is an egotistical fuck. I don't care who you are. If you're hardcore religious, you're an egotistical fuck. If you're a hardcore atheist, you're an egotistical fuck. Like if you have any of these ideas, like this is the way it is, there is a God, or there is, or the Republicans are right, or the Democrats are right. Like if you have any of those like concrete, like this is the way it is, you're an egotistical fuck because there is no right or wrong. There is no this is good and that is bad. It's all just fucking neutral. We just associate these values to it. So bringing that back to your religion, not your religion, your weight and your fitness religion, essentially, that's when it comes down to, your vision of yourself. That's when it comes down to your idea of what's good or bad for you and how you feel about yourself. So if you make the journey, you make figuring shit out the goal, then you've already won. You've already been successful. If you make your goal or your daily goal to eat healthy, to treat your body with respect, to love your body. And that's like the beauty and the wonderful aspects of physical training, with weight training, with yoga, with Pilates, with meditation. All these things really help you love yourself and take care of yourself and do things in your own best interest, not in society's best interest, but your own personal best interest. Being selfish is valuable. You have to be selfish. You have to put yourself first. That way, you will be more valuable to others. And that's one of the things that's very foundational when it comes to meditation. You need to do things for the right reasons. And we do them for the right reasons, the right things happen. This is very important because if you release, and how many of you have done the elimination process? How many of you have eliminated all these things that I talk about in my nutrition shows and have stopped counting, stopped measuring? How many of you have done that and seen amazing results? How many of you have done that? Stopped fucking counting and measuring, like literally started focusing on what foods to eat, right? Eat the right shit. You don't have to count shit. How many of you have actually gone through this process and seen amazing results? And you're doing exactly the opposite of what has been drilled into your head by society and by school. Measuring, doing this, follow the mold, follow these patterns. Like you're taught your entire fucking life, like measure calories, eat less, like measure this, blah, 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 add this, subtract that. And all of a sudden you started focusing on the right things to do by your body, the right things to be healthy, the right things you should do to respect your body the most and to take care of your health. And all of a sudden you stop doing all those bullshit things that are just float around the wind. And all of a sudden you're getting results. You're releasing stress. You're releasing this baggage that's fucking hanging around your neck. So you're getting rid of it. You're just letting it float away. You're just fucking releasing the trash that's built up from society. So my point is You want to lose weight fast? You want to build muscle fast? Well, first off, tough fucking shit. Nothing happens fast. If you want it, if you want it and it's something valuable to you, expect it to be extremely difficult and challenging. You're going to want to quit a lot. Those people that quit will never get results. People that don't quit have a chance. There's no guarantee in this life. And at the same time, you are exactly where you need to be because that's where you are. And that might sound fucking philosophical and, ooh, you are where you are because that's where you are. Okay. But it's also 100% true because no one knows where the fuck we are. We are here and you have what you have. And you have it pretty fucking good, especially if you're listening to this podcast or you're watching this video live. You have a cell phone, a computer, you have technology. You probably have it better than 99% of the entire world. So that means you have every opportunity to get in shape and to do better. But it's all on you. So whatever excuse you want to make, whether it's a physical ailment, whether it's a disease, whether it's a mental affliction, whatever, whether you suffer from something, whatever it is, it still comes down to doing it or not doing it. Now, it comes down to how you perceive these words, what words you use, what type of affirmations or lack thereof, and that's going to affect your actions. So it's very important for you to understand the power of how you look at things, the power of what your goals mean, whether they're realistic or not, what your absolute vision is for your future. And then literally the fact that it doesn't matter what might be coming up in your life. Either you do the things you need to do and you figure out a way to do them, or you don't, and you don't have, or you don't ever get what you want or what you say you want. So they have to be in parallel. You can't just fucking say things and expect them to happen because you said them. There's no such thing as a stupid fucking vision board. You put a picture on a wall. Oh, that's going to make it come true. What, magically? It's such a load of fucking crap. It's such a load of shit. You could put whatever you want on a fucking board and never ever get there. It's stupid. No, I didn't read the book. No, I won't. Fuck that shit. Doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what it is. You have to put the effort in and do the things every step to get there. And it's how you think about it. I really encourage you. It's really how you think about it. You have to start thinking about your fitness differently. You can't be thinking about it in these fucking small term, short, like a month. That comment was a month down the road. There are 12 months in a year. And maybe 30, 40, 50 years left in that person's life. 50 times 12. What is that? 90 months? No, Jesus Christ, I can't do math. 500 months, like all those months, 90 months. It's like 6 years, right? All those years, all those months. Like, and this one is like essential. Like, I have to lose this in this time. Fucking what about the rest of them? Because you're going to lose that weight and you're going to gain it back. It's your birthday, right? You lost 20 pounds. Let's say you fucking magically did that. You lost 20 pounds for your birthday. Sure, you're going to celebrate and have some cake, and all that water you lost is going to come right back in like a fucking day or two. You're going to gain 10 pounds back. Oh, I gained 10 pounds. Yeah, because you crash dieted. You did the wrong shit. You lost 20 pounds. You lost 19 fucking pounds of water. You're all sickly and dehydrated. And then you're going to splurge and then gain it all back and be all depressed again. And then the cycle is going to continue. And then you're going to be like, oh, I lost the weight and I gained it back. And I don't know what to do. It's so hard. I've tried everything. No, you haven't. You haven't tried hard fucking work and put the focus on your entire lifetime rather than just a month. And that's all I have to say. That's in closing. I don't see a lot of questions. I think everyone's just like listening to me fucking rant. But that's literally how you do anything fast, is you do the exact opposite. You want it fast? Good. Do the opposite. Okay. You want to lose weight? Good. You're going to have to do things that might be uncomfortable mentally too. It's not easy for a lot of you. It's not easy for a lot of you to stop counting calories. I get it. You're taught that way. You're programmed that way. It's like going right, left, and going left, right. All of a sudden, if I said now left, every time you take a left, we're going to call it going right. We're going to swap them, enough of this. We're going to reverse it. So left means right and right means left now. That's going to be uncomfortable for a little bit. You'll get used to it. Eventually left will mean this way, and then right will mean this way, and whatever. Okay. I remember I've never served in the military, but I use a 24-hour clock because it just makes sense. The AM and PM stuff is fucking retarded. because then it's like 6. It's like, oh, do you mean AM or PM? Oh, when you say 1800, it's like, okay, it's 6 p.m. Like it's just, I don't understand why there's ever a 12 and a 12. It's fucking dumb. It's so stupid. So, but I remember when I started doing that, I did it because I wanted to stimulate my brain. First off, it just didn't make sense to me to have the 12-hour, but I wanted to stimulate my brain. So at the beginning, when you first start, like you're looking at, you're like, what's 19? What's like 19 minus 12 is 7. Okay. So that means it's 7 p.m. So that but then eventually it's like any language. You start looking at the clock, you just know what time it is just by looking at it. Eventually you don't have to do that addition and subtraction. You just know that, 22 is 10 or 23 is 11 or 16 is 4. You just know what it is. Like you just process it all of a sudden. But I did it so my brain would work a little harder just when I was looking at my watch. So it kind of like it stimulated my brain. And a lot of these things might be mentally uncomfortable. It's going to be more mentally uncomfortable to not count calories than physically. If you're eating the right shit, your body will figure out the calories. Like you'll be fine. You're going to be full when you're full. So stop eating. And you're not going to overeat calories. It's going to be much harder to overeat when you're eating dense foods that are going to absorb, at a slower rate. That's going to give you more satisfaction. That's going to release the right amount of hormone. That's going to give the right message to your brain. That's going to process in a different way and fill you up more with the insoluble fiber. And then you're going to feel more full. So you're not going to eat as much. So you're going to get nutrients, eat less calories overall. You lose weight. Okay. That's the trick right there. So you start thinking about things the right way and then good things happen. That's something that that's something that needs to happen, fam. It's in your head. It's going to feel mentally uncomfortable too. That's it. It's not supposed to be comfortable. It's not supposed to be easy. Mentally, it's going to feel like a fucking C-clamp around your brain. But then no one cares. So if you don't get results, no one's crying for you. No one's really upset that you didn't lose weight. No one's really upset and bummed out like, oh man, you didn't gain that muscle, that 5 pounds of muscle you wanted. Like, oh man, you didn't get abs this year. Oh fuck. That sucks, dude. No one fucking cares if your calves get bigger. No one cares if you lose your stomach a little bit. Everyone's thinking about their own shit. So start thinking about your own shit. Focus on your own shit. It's just that simple. It's that simple. You got to focus on your own stuff. Yep. You got to focus on your own shit. Focus on your own shit. Keep your head down. Think about how you analyze things. Are you playing the victim? Are you taking control? Are you taking ownership? Are you taking responsibility for where you are? Because it didn't happen overnight. All right. Let me take a couple questions. I appreciate you all sticking around. Audience, you guys are awesome. You all really stuck around. You're really, I'm always watching. I see the comments. I see the number of eyes on me. Just for all of you to give me your attention for an hour and for those numbers just to hold and maintain. I know a lot of you have lives and a lot of you are going to catch this later because you might be working or on break, but I really appreciate that. It means a lot that just the numbers hold and you all stick around. And a lot of you are here from the beginning to the end. That means a lot to me. So I appreciate your attention. Really, I do. What should I work out tonight? What's everyone's Wednesday? I'll probably just do some foam rolling or some yoga. I'm not lifting weights today. Thoughts on plain ass dry oatmeal? All kinds of disgusting. It has no flavor and it's dry and it's inconsumable for a reason because it's fucking gross. I would eliminate it and then see how you feel. You don't need it. Eat some sweet potatoes. Watching from Ford Motor Company. What up? What's up, Ford? What's up, Ford? I have noticed for sure I don't eat as much. Absolutely. Eat to live, not live to eat. How do you get the motivation to better yourself? You realize that motivation is a crock of shit. You just got to better yourself every day. It's a habit. Discipline's a habit. Like, what do you think actions, right? When you say like, what are these, you ever see these articles, like, what are the actions that successful people take? They cultivate actions and repetition. Why do you think the military does that? Why do you think why do you think it's called training? Because they fucking train you to wake up like a machine They train you to get in a system. They train you to be neat and tidy and put things in a certain place and have your uniform a certain fucking way, or else it's like this. You're a machine. You do this. You do this because you do this. You do that because you do that. You do this and this and this because that's what you're supposed to do, and you fucking do it. So there's no like, what's the motivation for the military? Can you imagine anyone here that's watching that served? I didn't. So I'm not talking from a first person, but I don't think anyone fucking in the military is doing anything based on motivation, right? If you serve in the military, zero, absolutely dick shit is done by motivation. Nothing. Like what do you do in the military that's motivation based? It's discipline. Chain of command, you do as you're told, it's discipline. You answer, you do, you act, you just do what you're fucking trained to do. And that's what you have to do to your body. It doesn't matter if you feel like it, you fucking do it. I don't want to eat that food. So what? Like, so fucking what? What does that have to do with anything? I don't want to eat that sweet potato. Well, if it's the best fucking thing you should eat right now, you should probably eat it. Oh, but it doesn't taste good when it doesn't have barbecue sauce all over it. So probably not, because it doesn't have tons of sugar and things that stimulate your glands and your receptors. Of course, it's not going to perceivably taste as good. So what's your point? Like, seriously, what's your fucking point? Oh, but I'm tired. So, oh, but the gym is an hour away from work. So, like, the gym is an hour away from work. Or if I want to go to the gym before work, I'm going to have to get up at 5. So you get up at 5. What is the fucking problem? Oh, but that's early. So go to sleep earlier. Oh, but I get home late. So fucking do it anyway. Like, or don't. Then work out at home. Oh, but then I have to buy all the equipment. I have a lot of space. Like, you can make an excuse for everything. Oh, but then I have to work out in my living room and I don't have a, like, I can give you a million reasons to get it done. I can give you a million ways to get it done. And you can come up with 10 billion ways to wiggle out of it. Like, put something in the comments. Like, there's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. Always an excuse. Unfucking limited excuses. There's absolutely unlimited excuses. You'll never run out. You'll play the victim. You'll say there's a time constraint, or I don't have the equipment, or, I'm tired, or I have an injury, or I have this, or I have that, or there's always an excuse. That's why none of them make a fucking difference. Right? Remember your like in school, right? If you didn't do your homework, right? The classic excuse. What's the most classic excuse in history? The dog ate my homework. Now, one of the shitty things is dogs fucking eat a lot of fucking stuff sometimes. You have a pit bull or you got like a big dog, like even a small dog, like they eat shit. Like you'll come home and you're like, where the fuck did like my shoe go? And you'll find like half a shoelace. Like, literally, you ate that? Like, you ate that, bro? Like, how the fuck did you eat that? How many of you have big dogs that have literally consumed things and you find like how did you even chew that, let alone swallow it, let alone not die and be like really excited to see me when you get home? It's like dogs consume things, right? So, that became a phrase because someone somewhere, their dog ate their fucking homework. So then after that became a common excuse. Anyone whose dog actually ate their homework was shit out of luck, because I'll say it and everyone's like, yeah, sure, right. But you make an excuse. You make an excuse. And you have to have a pretty good reason, but it doesn't matter what your reason is, because bottom line is your paper or your test or whatever it wasn't done on time. So it doesn't really matter, right? Whatever the excuse was, it didn't get done. You don't have it in your hand. You're not putting it in my hand. So you could say anything. Oh, I went to space last night and I came back late, and I was decompressing from anti-gravity. Okay. Like, it's still the same thing as saying my dog ate my homework, or, oh, I forgot to do it. Like, you still didn't do it. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It's just an excuse. You're making an excuse. It's like an 8th place trophy. It's like you're fucking last place. So that's in conclusion. That wraps it up, fam. It's like you do what needs to happen, motivation or not. It's doing it because it needs to get done. So That's what's going to happen tomorrow on 699. We're going to fucking do it again. We're wrapping up and we're coming up to it, episode 700. So super exciting. And I'm posting a ton of content. Got a lot of stuff I want to do today. So I'm going to go get it done. It's been about an hour and Instagram's going to shut off in about 20 seconds. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 698 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, and Mancast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. And Instagram is going to shut off in 10 seconds. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me live every day. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. And of course, you can catch the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. And you can catch it anywhere. And if you're interested in joining the fam or checking out that brand new nutrition workshop that I have, the link is in my YouTube description. It's in my Instagram bio. And it's also in the post description on Facebook in this right above in the post description, you'll see the link to the anti-diet workshop. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. And if you're interested in more details and joining the fam, check out Swolenormousx.com. That's where all my programs and nutrition workshops, yoga classes, virtual trainings, everything is there on Swolenormousx.com. So check that out. Hit me up in the DM, message me on Facebook, comment on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose. Papa Swolio. Out. Later, guys. Peace.